"No, Stan, come on in," she kind of sighed. "You know, you're the only one who ever walked through this door who doesn't want something from me. Everybody who comes in here, they want something from me. And you're the only one who doesn't. Please sit down." Well, that's what she said to me. And that's what I was glad to hear, because I'm a business performance coach, and I'm not in the business of trying to ask for things. I'm trying to help people do better things. And so that's what this is all about. I have a little fun exercise by saying, would you like to know what $1 million coach can help you do? And then perhaps to twirl that around and segue radio style into why you not only need a business coach, but you probably need somebody to help you get on the radio if you want to be a success in 2020. And that radio program begins right now. And welcome to a Wednesday evening. I'm Stan Houston. This is The Master Entrepreneur, a radio, iPod radio broadcast, a conversation that counts, and we wanted to do just that. We want to make it count for you in your life and business. So we take sometimes 5, sometimes 10, sometimes about 12, usually not more than about 20 minutes, because if you take 20 minutes to learn something new every day, in a few years, you'll be a world-class expert. Think about that. Let that just kind of sit on your head for a while. What I'd like to do today is a little bit of self-promotion, okay? And I'll give you an idea about how to do that as I do it for me, to you. And then perhaps to guide you, as I said, to the fact that in 2020, you probably are going to have to get some training, some coaching, some help in some new performance skills. You're going to have to learn how to be a broadcaster, and at least to do, in some ways, your radio program. As I've been encouraging you, and I continue to do so, you can reach me at radioedge77@gmail.com, and you can get your microphone. Now, I'm using a variety of microphones. The one I'm using today is a Blue Yeti. Very good microphone for podcast work. You just plug it in. I can plug it into my Mac. I can plug it into my PC. I've got 2 or 3 of those things sitting around here. One of them actually works as a teleprompter. But that's the way the world and the office works. You see, I don't have an office. I have a studio, and you will need one too. In fact, your entire office may need to be a studio. Many years ago, I began to try and do some work doing seminars. And I had a little program that was put together because I had just left the international broadcasting mission work, and it was called Press Toward the Mark. And it was based on things that I had learned. And I used St. Paul, his famous admonition in his letter to his friends in the city of Philippi, Philippians 3. He said, "Forgetting what is behind, I press toward the mark of God's high calling, of the goals I need." And we really actually have a fun little class called How to Press Toward the Mark, and it's 3 marks you need to make. That's right. Your goals, your trademark, and your results that are useful to people. That's a program in itself, and we'll probably do it for you sometime. In fact, I would love to have the opportunity to come directly to you and your organization and help you make your marks. That's when my good friend Deb said to me after listening to my seminar, she said, "I don't want to go to any more seminars, but I want you to come in, and every week I want you to help me and kind of have a personal seminar." And that worked out great. About an hour and a half. And on the 3rd time, she said, "Now I know what you are. You're a coach. I've read about people like you. You're one of those new things. You're a business coach." And I'm I've got my own coach, and I've told all my friends now that I have a coach, and that kind of makes me feel good. But what happens is that I know that I'm doing better because of you. And that's what she said later on, a few years into it. We worked for many years, and we're still good friends. She has left the business that we grew together after it had made a number of growth leaps and was well over $1 million. So maybe that's part of what I mean by a millionaire coach. Here's what we did. She had a bad day, and she said to me when I said, maybe we should postpone it. And that's when she gave me that ultimate compliment. She said, no, Stan, you're the only one who comes into this office who doesn't want something from me. You want to help me. Everybody else wants something from me. They want money from me. They want me to work for them. They want me to do something for them. They all want something from me, and all you want to do is help me. And I said, well, I do want to get paid. She says, that's not the issue. You want to help me. And I think I did. In fact, she's been very kind and recommended me to many, many others around the world. Well, while I was doing that, I called up a guy that I had been given a name from a very good friend in our church who had recommended me to this person. And I called that person, said, my friend Dan Anderson suggested that I give you a call. May I take a few minutes of your time? And he said, oh, okay, Dan, sure. And I began a little bit of my pitch. I had worked out very hard. And all of a sudden he said, stop, Stan. You're a good man, I can tell. Dan Anderson wouldn't have recommended you if you weren't. But I know what you're doing. Stan, tell me what you got. What he was saying is, stop with the schmoozing. Stop with the storytelling about you right now, because I just want to know what you got. What's your offer? Well, what I'd like to do very briefly is to tell you a little bit about what I think I got. If you are a person who is seeking to grow an entrepreneurial business, to be a master entrepreneur, I'm going back to my class, my course, my coaching experience on how to be a coach, and I'd like to just tell you briefly, and sometimes I'll tell you in greater detail, what a coaching experience can do for you. If you have time, just listen. If you have something close by to write this down, let me just tell you what I came up with. First of all, this is always an experiment. All good business that lives on the edge are conducting experiments. We're always trying something new. We're always trying to see if it'll work, and sometimes it won't. And every successful entrepreneur has a list of experiments that did not work. In fact, I'm going to tell you about a friend of mine, because he's actually a relative of mine who at a very young age, incredible, has started a series of food ventures that have become very successful. But in one of his restaurants, he has a big wall chart, and it is a chart of all of his past failures before he got to his present success. It's an incredible admission and a motivation map. Hey, this is what we have. And people say, this is great. But then they watch the little map on the wall and they say, oh my goodness, he really had a hard time. There was a lot of disappointments and struggles before he got to this point. It was incredible. And it is incredible. But here's what I think I have for you. If you want to have greater clarity about what your life and business is all about, we can really help you do that. I'm known for my signature line, what is clear to you since we last met? Clarity is great power. It's conviction. It's greater certainty. You'll have greater awareness. I guarantee you this, you will notice and be more aware of things in your life and business and in your leadership style than you have ever been before. Your clarity and your awareness will exponentially grow. And you know what? You'll have a lot more energy, and energy is everything. That's the deal. Energy is everything. Walk tall, walk fast, pick up the pace. More energy. I can always tell a little bit about what's going to happen to a business on how slow they go. And I'm going to be challenging some people this week to say, pick up the pace. Stop talking and stop texting and stop conversing and start acting. Let's go. You're going to find out that I'm going to challenge you to be useful. The secret of success is not how smart you are, not how clever you are, not how cute you are. It is how useful are you to clients and customers. And most of the stuff you talk about and pitch, they couldn't care less about, but how useful are you to them? And we'll get you to think that way. You're going to be more influential. I guarantee it. More and more people will know about you. You will be not referred as much as you will be recommended. You will be more influential. You will write a book if you want. You will have radio programs if you want. You will be, as my friend said, I want you to help it be so that when they see me, they say, she's here, she's there, she's everywhere. And you know what? She has a coach who helps her. I want you to be more fruitful. I'm just going to let that sit on your head. A lot of people talk about productivity, but the key is a term from the Scripture. Fruitful. Someone once said to me, well, God doesn't care about success. He just wants us to be faithful. And I said, no, that's wrong. And they were surprised because, of course, that's one of the cliches. They actually get that from something that supposedly Mother Teresa said, but they misquote her. And I say, no, we're not to be faithful. We are to be fruitful. As a result of our lives and our work, there's real stuff in the real world that's good, and it's sweet. We are called to be fruitful. And then something which I would love to achieve myself, and maybe I'll make it. But a number of people have, as a result of my work, serenity, a sense of calmness about who they are and what they do. There you go. Greater clarity, awareness, energy, useful, influential, fruitful, and maybe the majesty of calmness. And does that make me $1 million coach? We'll talk about that after this brief break. Have I made $1 million? Oh, no, not even close. In fact, we're going through some real challenges right now because we're entrepreneurs and we start new and different experiments. But there is a story about a man named Bill Campbell, who's a legendary coach. Now, this man, I read his stuff. A lot of his stuff is pretty good. I like it. And somehow he got the gig and he became the coach to all of the big shot tech guys in Silicon Valley. He was the coach. Kind of an ordinary, common guy, at least in appearance, but with uncommon wisdom and spiritual good sense. And the men and women who could afford, $1 million coach brought him on board. And in fact, there is now a book about him called The $1 Trillion Coach. I'm looking forward to reading it though it got mixed reviews because it didn't have a story to it. It tended to be more quotes and quips, and I would agree, we want to hear the story. But we'll see. Maybe that actually was there. You need a story with quotes and quips. But here is my point. I do know that as a result of the counsel I have given, that many clients and businesses have made many, many, many dollars. And because of my help and counsel, many people and many businesses have made far more than $1 million. So in that sense, if my coaching and counsel has helped build or helped go and help grow a business, I can honestly claim that I'm $1 million coach. And I think in some ways I probably could help you too. Our work is much more focused now. We are much more involved in making sure that the spiritual and spirit force emphasis is who we are and what we do. And in fact, I've come to the point that unless one of my coaching clients is actually open to spiritual conversations, I probably can't help them too much. But if you are, I can help you go and grow. And the last part is, the reason I was successful is because before I became a coach, I had been an international broadcaster, and I still am. And even today, it is more vital than ever that you know how to use the podcasting, the independent, personal on-demand radio. Audio is going and growing, and if you want to have a marketplace niche, you better learn how to be a performance broadcaster. You have to learn how to be interviewed, how to interview. You have to learn how to use the modern media, and if you don't, you won't be as successful as you could be, and you might not be able to make it at all. Just as, Dale Carnegie said, if you want to be successful years ago, you had to learn how to be a public speaker to win friends and influence people. Now it's true. If you want to be successful, you're going to have a coach who will come alongside and help you understand how you can be not only good at your business, not only good at your leadership, not only good at your communication, but good at broadcasting. And that I can help you do. Hey, thank you for letting me do a little self-promotion. But those are ways I can help you. I want you to have clarity, awareness, energy, be useful, influential, fruitful, and a sense of calmness. And I want you to approach that microphone with a sense of confidence that you know how to handle it, you know how to do it, and in the modern world that's before us, you will know how to have a voice, how to speak clearly, and how to make your mark and do well. And that's what I want from you. I'm Stan Houston. RadioEdge77@gmail.com. RadioEdge77@gmail.com. I would like to audition to be your coach and to help you, your team, and your company and your business go and grow so that 2020 is one of the best years ever. There we go. So I took just about the 20 minutes today, but I ask your forbearance. I believe that if you look at those calmness qualities, those coaching qualities, all of them can be helpful and useful to you. And I do know that we have everything available now to help you learn how to be, just as I am, an enhanced amateur, maybe even a kind of a beginning professional at the broadcast arts. That will be vital in the years to come, starting last year. Here we go. Best and blessings to you until we work together in a coaching experience. I wish you all the best. Be blessed. And while you're doing it, be a blessing to others. Bye for now.